right. I think we are live. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, from whatever time zone you're watching, right? Welcome to the second episode in our series of bi-monthly workshop at Argent. And today we're going to be doing something a bit more interesting, right? We have the extropy thing here with us, right? I think that was about few weeks ago. The Cairo Pragma Hackathon was completed, and we had different tracks. We had the Argent track, which the Custard team came out of. So during this workshop, right, we're going to have folks and robots from Extropy basically tell us more about Custard, probably walk us through the project implementation and a brief demo of the project. Hello, folks. Hello, Robert. Can you hear me?
Hi, Darlington. Yes, hi, everyone. GM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
GM, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. You're welcome, folks. Welcome, Robert. I think we could just start with a brief explanation, brief introduction, right? So basically, I'm Darlington, ecosystem associate at Argent, and I'll probably be the anchor for this particular episode. Probably go with folks next.
Hey, I'm Fox. I'm a blockchain engineer at Extra.io. We've created Custard watchtower. We are very proud of it, and we are going to present it today. So I work for Extra, basically for the creators of the project. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, folks. How about you, Robert?
Cool. Thank you, Darlington. So my name is Robert. I work as a blockchain engineer for Xrp, and my specialties are everything regarding Cairo and Rust. So yeah, looking forward to this presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Robert. Right, so I think before we go on, right, it would be fair to like get to know what XRP is and what you guys do at XRP. I think my first encounter with XRP was during the Encode ZK bootcamp. That was sometime last year. I think I met Fox during that bootcamp too, and he had Lawrence anchor the bootcamp there, and it was really an amazing session. So I think I have this brief idea about XRP as an auditing company, but maybe you could throw more light on what you guys do at XRP.
Yes, Darlington. I remember you being our student, and you rose so fast. Congratulations, because
Thank you,
because
folks.
because it's a great career that you have at Argent. Xtop is a digital ledger technology consultancy based in Oxford. As you mentioned, we specialize in training. So we teach Solidity, expert Solidity. We love to teach everything zero knowledge, Starknet. If you check our Twitter, you're gonna see that we have zero knowledge proofs bootcamp starting very soon. Then we have an MEV bootcamp. I don't think you can buy tickets yet. MEV bootcamp, which will be about arbitrage bots, liquidation bots. So basically, education. We also do security audits for smart contracts, Cairo one included. And beside this, we do development. As you can see, Custard is our product. I think that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that introduction. Okay, so I think we can just dive into what we came to look at for the day, right? And that's the project Custard. So maybe I'll throw this to Robert instead. Could you probably walk us through what Custard is and probably what inspired you guys to build Custard? Because I could remember basically when we during the Pragma Hackathon, right, for the Argent track, we were more focused, or we we're looking mostly at projects which were probably account abstraction related, right? And I think during the judgment process, when I came across Custard, I really found it very, very interesting and intriguing. So could you probably walk us through Custard? Um, Maybe tell us what inspired you to build Custard.
Yes, we have it in our presentation, so I will just go with the presentation. So Custard Watchtower is a custom watchtower for Argent wallets. It's created by the team at Xtropy. So our mission is here is to work towards quickest delivery of account abstraction to all blockchain users, because this is the biggest improvement in blockchain user experience. So account abstraction and, for example, Argent web wallet, the fact that you have social recovery, that you can log in with your email, this is this is this is what we want to improve. That's how we want the blockchain to look like. So normal people can use it. They don't have to write down their mnemonic and hide it somewhere in their wardrobe. Our mission with Custard is to deliver account recovery notification service as an essential service for account abstraction wallets. So basically, with account abstraction wallets, you have a recovery mode. We don't have the need for such a watchtower in classical wallets, because in classical wallets, all you can do is send a transaction, and when you send a transaction, you know it's you sending the transaction. And obviously, if somebody else is sending a transaction from your wallet, this means you just got hacked. Yes. So in classical wallets, you don't need a service like this. With account abstraction, you have your account, and for example, Guardian, as we're going to show, a Guardian can start a recovery process, or you might be a Guardian for an account, and on which somebody else started a recovery process. So that's why you need a project like Watchtower to get notified about such events. You want to know that somebody is trying to recover your wallet. The same as with, if somebody logins to your email account, you get an email notification. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, just to throw, okay, just before you proceed, right, to throw more light for people who probably do not understand what a watchtower is, I think we could try to relate it to like a concept of a watchtower in a real life, right? I think during the Roman Empire or so, right, there was this watchtowers they usually build when probably when they let's say in a scenario where like a battle is going on, right, and you have this sentinel on top the watchtower, and he's always there to like watch for impending dangers, right? For example, enemies coming in and so on and so forth, right? So just think of your watchtower like that. But in the case of AA now, right, we are looking at the watchtower as probably as a service that tends to monitor accounts, right, smart accounts from time to time, and probably tend to report if there are malicious activities going on. So, for example, you could decide that, okay, when this particular action is carried out and this particular events are emitted, right, you want to probably inform the owner of this wallet or whoever is like tracking his wallet using that particular watchtower. So that's just a brief intro on what a watchtower is, right? So probably you could just proceed, folks.
Yes, brilliant explanation. So what we have built is two parts: Argent account based smart contract wallet in Cairo 1 with Guardian recovery service. So just a basic wallet based on Argent account model that we can use to basically work with Watchtower. And we developed the Custard Watchtower to allow users should their to be notified should their wallet enter recovery. The Watchtower consists of two parts. It's a Telegram bot acting as a user interface, so users can sign up for notifications and then receive notifications, and a checkpoint-based backend tracking all wallet recovery events. So checkpoint is a library which is tracking, which can track all events on Starknet, and also provide you the data of all these events in a GraphQL database. So that's what we've built: Telegram bot and like Indexer, which is tracking all the wallet events. So the project setup, as you can see, we have an app here on the left. I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor. Yes, you can see
Yeah, I
it.
can see
So,
that.
so this is our app. It's using a checkpoint library to index all the data on StarkNet, the same as you can see all the events in StarkScan. We've built a Telegram bot, Custard bot, and we've built an Argent account in Cairo One, so we can use it with checkpoint, and that one has certain events that we are going to track. Now let's talk about the actual account abstraction wallet that we've created. I will hand over to Robert, who's the author of this wallet.
Thank you, Fox. On the Cairo side, so we try to kind of like implement a basic account contract, and we try to mimic what Argent is doing on the account abstraction, and we just focused on implementing the Guardian logic. What we did is we added all the events that are happening on the Guardian logic scheme, and we also changed a little bit the escape triggers, so we could just process. I mean, we could just show this in real life demo. So we just switched that to, let's say, 3 minutes, only for demo purposes. What we haven't really went into is the signature scheme, where, for example, if you trigger an escape trigger, you have to call both the guardian and the signer to have a signature together, and then you're able to trigger that escape. And yeah, this all has been implemented in Cairo 1. So I'll share my screen just in a few seconds, and you'll see the Cairo 1 syntax a little bit has changed since then. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. And let me just quickly share my screen regarding the code itself. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Well, it takes a couple of seconds. Yeah. Just to talk while we're at this slide we're good. Cool. So if everybody can you guys confirm if you can see my screen?
Yeah, we can, but can you zoom in a bit? The texts are looking a little bit too tiny. Okay, yeah,
Yes,
that works.
definitely. This works. So for example, this is like a simple account contract in Cairo 1. It's not with the new syntax, so there's some changes to the new syntax. I guess, Darlington, you had a really nice template based on how to write account contracts, and together with multi-calls and multi-sigs. So that's also definitely a good starting point to do. What we have here is, so starting, we do have the imports of the libraries that we use. We also have the constant that we have. So we have the guardian type and the signer type, and this is the escape security period that I was mentioning. It's 180 seconds, which it's a 3 minutes demonstration. Yeah, we do have the storage, and here we have the storage for the signer, for the guardian and the guardian backup, and for what type of escape is, and the escape time itself. Then what we had here is we implemented all the events functions from the Guardian logic. Whenever something changes in one of the functions that we will see, these events get triggered, and it's going to be up on the start on the block explorer, and these are catched by the checkpoint indexer. So we do have the constructor function. I won't get into the details of how to build this account contract. I'll just try to make it to the point where we implemented the Guardian logic. But you have just a simple basic account contract where we have the account interface with the validate transaction. This is the deploy function, and the declaration itself. Now, let's go to the to the so these are the view functions in the new syntax. These are a little bit changed. You don't get this, you just get a snapshot of the contract state, and you just return the signer itself. Same goes for the guardian backup, and so on and so forth. The external functions, those change as well. You just have a reference to the contract state, and you'll be able to make changes to the state itself. So on the change signer, what we did is basically we have an assert only self, so you can only execute it only. It can be called by itself and not by any external contracts. And what we're doing is first we check if we have a new signer in place. If not, then it throws an error, and then you have to assign that. The change guardian method, again, the assert only self function to make sure that we can only call this function by ourselves. And we are checking.
Sorry,
Yeah.
okay, sorry for interrupting you, Robert. But I think we've been mentioning Guardian. I think you might want to throw more light on who a Guardian is, right? Just for some of our
Oh yeah.
viewers who probably do not know what a Guardian is. Yeah.
So definitely, yeah. Okay, so the signer is basically yourself. Like who has the account is the signer itself, is the first signer. The guardian is basically at the beginning. There's no guardian to the account, but once you could set up a guardian, and this guardian can act as a backup to your account itself. Whenever, for example, if your account something happens to your account, for example, you lost it or you want to recover it or something like that, the guardian can act as a backup plan for your account. So that's where the guardian comes in. You set up the guardian, and then you have several functions where you could, for example, if something happens to the guardian, or the guardian forgot its wallet, or the guardian became corrupted, or some of these examples, you could also change this guardian. So these would be the functions to change the guardian. Initially, when you call this, it's gonna pass because you don't have any guardian. So it's gonna whenever you initialize first, you're gonna set a guardian, and it's gonna emit a function called guardian change, and this can be also be seen on the block explorer itself. Um, then you have the change guardian backup, which is also a guardian backup. It's an additional guardian for your wallet account, just in case if something happens to your account, you have these backup methods to rely on. And then these are the trigger escape functions we do have for the signer itself and for the guardian. So what happens is whenever a change guardian happens, you have to there's a time limit that has to pass. I believe for the Argent model, it's 7 days. And once this has passed, you can hit this function, the trigger escape signer, and then this will execute the changes that happen. So basically, you wait for, so there's a change in Guardian, you wait for 7 days, and then once that has been changed, you're going to call trigger escape Guardian. And then for the signer, there's a little bit of different method where first, for example, here we actually like to escape the signer. We first need a guardian, a backup plan. And if we don't have, you cannot execute this function. And then what we're doing here is we're checking for the block timestamp as well. We make sure that the time between you requested the escape signer, change signer to escape signer is more than 7 days, then this function can be triggered. And then if this happens, then we update the escape with the signer, and we just emit an event with the block time and the escape period. Cool. And then pretty much the same goes for the so the cancel escape is basically canceling the escape that has been triggered by either the guardian or the signer, and yeah, pretty much that's going on here. Any questions so far?
All right. I don't think there are any questions. I think that was pretty clear. I can't find any questions in the chats currently. Okay, I think we could proceed. Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. Apologize for not highlighting the syntax. There's some issues with the Cairo language server.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes it
yeah.
crashes, so
Totally understand that. Yeah.
it's a bit difficult to yeah. But I definitely encourage you to take a look at our repo to see how this implementation works. Again, we just focused on the Guardian logic scheme, and we try to implement how these escape functions are implemented, triggered, and emitted. And then on the signing itself, we haven't focused, just a simple signatures scheme that's coming with the default account contract. Great. I believe now I can stop sharing my screen and switch back to Fox. So give me just 1 second.
Right, guys. I'm also going to drop a link to like extra piece GitHub in case you want to check out the codes. You'll find every single bit of it in there.
Okay, so I'm going to demo the project now, finally. So before I start it, before I start the project, I will check what is the latest block on StarkNet testnet, which is 838.573, and I will configure 838.573. Here I'm opening the configuration of Custard. So it's only gonna track events from the current block. Other way, when we sign up, it's gonna be tracking all events, and we're gonna get lots of alerts. So now I can start the project. So now Custard has started. So it's both indexing the events and it has a Telegram bot running. So as a new user now, just exit this presentation. Sorry. Now can you see my Telegram? Yes, you can. So welcome to Custard Watchtower. Enter track followed by a valid StarkNet address to get started. Okay. So
Zooming, we can't see the text. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yeah, that
so
works.
now I'm the user and I want to track my wallet to get notified about any events. So I will copy address of my wallet from StarkScan, and I will ask Custard Watchtower to track it. And if you type to me done, you are going to get notified about all recovery events for wallet. And there's my wallet address. That one is checked some, so it looks a bit better. Cool. So now anything happens to my wallet, I should get a notification on Telegram. So let's try to do something on my wallet. I hope notification will come. So now I'm connecting to this wallet, the wallet that we're tracking. And as you can see, account that I'm using here, 0750, is already set up as a guardian for this account, which means I can trigger escape, I can trigger the recovery process. So now I will connect my wallet. And now, because I'm the guardian, I can trigger escape guardian on this Cairo One wallet. So let me try to trigger it. And okay, it's very fast now, StarkNet. The transaction has been already minted. It says already gone through. No, it's not visible on the Stark scan yet. So now I should get notified, basically, when the event will come through. So we have to wait a second. Can you guys please? You can't see my screen anymore, I think.
No, we can't see your screen.
You can.
I think we lost your screen.
Yes.
Can you reshare it?
Yes, I don't know why you've lost my screen. I will share my screen again. Okay, now we need to share it on YouTube. Okay, you can see my screen again. Actually, we have triggered the I can't see the event on the Stark scan yet. I will try to trigger Escape Guardian again, because right now I should get notified on Telegram about this event. And the transaction is here. It's been accepted on L2. 83575 is the block. Let me look what checkpoint is doing. Technically, it should have found it. That's interesting. So it's still not seeing the block. So this is a live demo gods. We just have to wait a bit, because it says block not found error, as you can see, which means it's not seeing the block yet. So technically, the checkpoint should now show the transaction, but it might take some time. So I don't think we're going to wait on live. If it's going to happen before we finish the presentation, I will show you guys. So technically, we should get notification now. I think it has come, because my phone is beeping. Yes, cool. It has come. Basically, StarkNet is now extremely quick, but you still have to wait a second. So now I've triggered the Escape Guardian twice, as you have seen, because I was panicking a bit. And now I got notified Escape Guardian triggered for event for wallet. The message should be nicer here. Basically, Escape Guardian event triggered for wallet, and that's the address of the wallet I'm tracking. Brilliant. So it's working. Yes, I'm very glad it's working right now, because you know how live demos are. So especially on testnet blockchains. Now, what are our next steps? What we want to do is we want to create a dashboard with details of recovery process for all StarkNet wallets, or basically all events for all StarkNet wallets. So we can, so we would have a nice overview of which features are being used, or which account abstraction features are being used. A dashboard here would be very nice for any research. We strive for Custard to become Argent's default watchtower project, even integrated into Argent X wallet. So we would love users when they go to Argent to basically be able to straight from the wallet to sign up to Watchtower. That would be amazing. And we also want to extend the project to track events such as multi-sig transactions, where we can notify users when a new transaction has been triggered. So a multi-sig transaction is basically when somebody starts a transaction, but for this transaction to actually get executed, multiple people have to sign it, so like approve it before it goes through. It's being used for security, and so we also want to track them. Yes, because then if you initiate a transaction and you are one of the people who have to approve the transaction, you would like to know when it has been approved by everybody and has actually been executed. Okay, now some resources. That's the GitHub repo with the code. It's public. You can check it out. You can learn. And this is our website, extropy.io. Thank you, guys. That's all.
Yeah, thank you so much, folks. If you don't mind, would it be possible to like get a link to this particular documentation, the slides? Let's share it in the comment section too.
Yes, I think so. What should I click in here? I should click share. Yes. Share with others. And now anybody with a link. Yes, copy link. And now, okay. You want me to send it to you in a chat? Yes, on StreamYard.
Yeah, you could just send it in the chat and we'll paste it in the comments.
Okay, I will send it publicly on YouTube. Okay. I would need to connect, I think. Cool. I think I should stop sharing my screen, definitely. Slides. I've posted this on YouTube.
Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, folks. Yeah, so maybe a few more questions before we go, right? I mean, your demonstration was pretty awesome and basically showcases the unlimited possibilities we have with account abstraction, right? Because I mean, account abstraction makes accounts flexible and means we can literally write any logic we want to write. For example, with externally owned accounts, to be much more difficult to implement project like a watchtower, right? So it definitely showcases how much account abstraction can be very useful to the ecosystem. But I wanted to ask, right, are there any other application use cases of the project such as Custard, I'd say watchtower such as Custard, that someone could possibly explore? For example, you mentioned uh, monitoring multi-sigs, right, and being able to like alert a user when a new transaction is triggered. And just like we saw also, being able to alert a user when, let's say, a guardian is trying to escape. Because I think one of the very funny scenarios we can have with, let's say, an account recovery process, such as the one Argent implements, which involves guardians, right, is that's a possibility that a guardian might actually try to escape a signer, even when like the signer is actually the signer probably did not lose his private key or something. Probably the guardian is trying to be malicious. In that case, if you have like a watchtower such as Custard implemented, then there's a possibility that you get notified when such malicious transactions are probably about to take place. So, but are there any other use cases you could probably think of that people could explore using projects like watchtowers?
So from my end, like for example, everything that has an event could have like a possibility of a use case. So for example, even like in games, right? So let's say on StartNet, Loot Heroes or something like that. A loot survivor, sorry, loot survivor. So for example, you could just have like events trigger, like you're playing a game and then you want to find out like the state of what's happening of the game. You could just implement such a watchtower project, and then you get notified on your whatever Telegram or whatever you want to implement that something happened to your character or something like that. So I would imagine like everything that has events, you could try to find a use case for it, and multisig it's another option, and yeah, there's in every project there is on StarkNet. There's a possibility to implement the watchtower to help them track for things like this, or maybe, for example, there's a DeFi application where you submit let's say an order, and then you just want to when that order is filled up, then you're going to get an event on that, and you just want to get notified on your application that that event got triggered and your order got filled up. So it's like you don't have to manually track on your laptop what's happening constantly. So definitely a lot of use cases.
And users
Yeah.
users can get notified about what they like the most, so airdrops.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting use case to explore. Definitely, very interesting use case.
Yes, we are
uh,
going to add StarkNet airdrop notification.
yeah.
Stark token, yes.
Right. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you, folks. It's been a very amazing session. I don't think we need to drag this on for much longer, right? All right. So for viewers, right? Thank you so much for staying till this point. And you could definitely join us next week. Although this is actually supposed to be bi-monthly workshop, right? It's supposed to be this is supposed to happen bi-monthly, but something interesting is going to be happening next week. So a project or a product we've been working on for a long while now. Web wallet will be going live, so there's a possibility we are looking at holding a live workshop which will be teaching you how to like integrate web wallets by next week Friday. So please add that to your calendar and try to show up. And upper week probably next week's Friday we'll be having the Stacknode team come around and teach you how to set up we start knowledge from home. And I think that's about it. Thank you so much, guys, once again for coming around. And yeah, do have an awesome day ahead. Yeah, bye, everyone.
Thank you very much, Darlington.